Okay, here we are. That stone in that tire there. We just gotta check if that's a nail or not. Alright. There's the dirty car. It's not too dirty. Right.
Those pink things have brought up. Interesting. There's a couple here, and there's some
Alright, so good morning. Good afternoon. What is it? It's good afternoon by now. We are at the Imperial Activity Center trailhead. This is Sunday, October 5, 2025. That activity center parking lot was really full. I guess they have activities at the center. Most of the time I go there's nobody around. Now, it brings back memories. 11 months ago. No, actually it's 13 months ago. Election day, November 5, 2024. It was really crazy there. Really busy. That's coming up. Another month, it'll be November. That's the sad part about this. It's such great weather right now. We're talking like 80s in October. It's not humid. It's really warm but not hot and humid. It's beautiful. But it's not going to last. I think we're going to get another day tomorrow. It's going to be nice, Monday. But then after that, it's going to be raining. I think the temperature's going to drop. But we still got time. October can have some really good days for trail walking with nice weather. And even into November. So we're not at the end yet. This is my third straight day on the trails. Trying to pack it all in now. I squandered a lot of those days in September. I also squandered the days in August. I didn't take good advantage this year. Now I feel like I'm going back to the same trailheads all the time now because I got this new car. And I don't want it to get all beat up. So I'm staying in paved parking areas. And here comes those girders that are beautiful. And what I like about these, they're tall. But they're not full of graffiti. Like those ones down in Brownsville Road. I was just there. on Friday. This is great. And look how tall these are. So here's me walking up, and it's way up there. It's beautiful. Now we're going to break out. We always do this. It never gets old. Oh man, what's going on with this? This is still new to me. I hear we go. Oh, here we go. Alright. So there's that. Heads towards Santiago. It goes back towards Imperial. And here's this. Looking straight ahead and then up. And the sun's right in my eyes. See how tall, how high up that is. Now, switch to selfie. See how tall that is? Make sure you don't get run over. Let's walk through it. Walk through the girders. Ooh. Well, that was kind of strange. This is all screwed up now. Damn. Okay, here we go. Trying to get this phone back the way I had it. Alright. It's 12:37 on that watch. I'm losing some weight because my pants are falling down. Yeah. Alright. Here's downtown Imperial. You can see it better over here. There's Route 30. So I was at that trailhead here in Imperial, I think it was middle of September, and I walked the other direction down to Enloe Tunnel. Now prior to that I was here in something like the third week of August, I think. And I went in this direction here to towards Santiago. That's when I still had the Blazer. When I came in September, I had the new vehicle, the Lexus. Yeah, I remember that. I was talking all about it on the video. The one in August, I was going, oh man, just wait another couple weeks. By the end of August, they said it's going to be here. And it was. So like I said, this is the third day in a row I was on the trail. I think that's more than I've done this summer, this year. There might be a couple times I did 3 days in a row. Far cry from when I used to do like maybe 5 or 6 days in a row. This is a strange year. Alright, here we go. Watch where you walk. Clinton block mine number 1. Yeah. Like I said, I'm limiting myself right now to the paved trailheads. So it's few and far between. It's still a blast going on the trail. Well, my vehicle is now, let's say, 1 month and 4 days old. Got it September 1st. It had 4 miles on it, brand spanking new. Now it's October 5th. It's got a lot of miles already. It's about 1,300 miles on it. Back to that again. I knew it would be like that. As soon as I get this new one, I'm not going to want to go driving around again. Do more driving to long distances versus, less trail walking. Now we're kind of balancing it out. It all evens out. Mile marker 9. That's what happens, it balances out. I'm pretty sure once we get into the winter months, probably be doing maybe less driving and less trail. This is reminding me of 2 years ago when I first started doing trail walking. The trees were still green, but you look down on the trail, there's a ton of leaves, and you see they're all brown, and it looks like fall, yeah? When you look up above, it's still pretty green, so there it doesn't look like fall. Hi. Hi. Now look at that lame fence right there. Boy, that's pathetic. That's pathetic right there, that fence. Just a single row of wood. Looks like it was just patched together. Cutting costs. I mean, it's not really supposed to be any greater than that, but just to make it clear that there's a division there. So when you're on the road, you don't go down into here. But still, they could have done a better job on that. They could have put at least 2 rails on 2 rows on each. Now it's getting hot right now. And it's clearing right here. That's because there's power lines right there going up that way. One place I want to go back to is down there on Valley Brook, South Hills. I always like to park in that small trailhead that's it's right off of Valley Brook and Route 19 south. And the only problem with that is it's really tight parking there. And the only way I'll ever do it is if I can get that first end spot so I can pull right up to the edge and at least try to save my vehicle from getting dinged up by other vehicles. Now, this year, I was only there once. That was that May 5th. It was the first day I had that rental piece of shite. It was that first rental piece of shite. That Jeep Compass. And I found that, I mean, I didn't care about that car getting dinged up. But I luckily found that parking spot. Yeah, I like to go from there to the Greer Tunnel. I don't mind parking there if I can get that spot at the end. It's not too much dirt there. You know, it's not really paved, as it were, but it's not really that much of a dirt trail. I mean, dirt trailhead. It's not bad. It's right there at with that water treatment plant. Now, if I can't get that parking spot, I will go up to further up on Valley Brook towards McMurray. There's near that Maplewood Road. There's some places there. I mean, there's a big, nice lot there. The only thing is, last year, I used to go there in 2023. But then last year, they moved that porta potty down at the end, where I used to like to park down there because it was real secluded at the end. I like end spots. Well, they put that porta potty down there. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but anyway, I haven't gone to that Maplewood trailhead this year, or I don't even think I went last year. The year before I did, but 2024 I don't think I ever did. I mean, don't quote me on that. I might have done it right at the beginning of the season. I don't remember. Now that It's a little bit too much further up. If you want to go to the Greer Tunnel, that's more of a walk. There's that extra, it's an extra, at least another mile. Yeah, that time in 2023 when I did that. Wait a minute, let me think about that for a second. Could that have been 24? No, that was 23. Yeah, that was in the fall of 23. Right after I had started walking on the trail. It was all brand new. Hi. I think I'm confusing myself right now. I know I was there in 23, but I think I might have been there in 24 at the beginning of the season before they moved that porta potty thing. I honestly don't remember, but I do remember on one of those trips it was like the longest walks I ever did, and I was exhausted at the end. It was like almost 6 miles total round trip, and that was a little bit too much for me. I was hearing something walking around up there. A lot of bikes out today. Well, yeah, it's Sunday, so I expect that.
Morning.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. Good morning. But it's actually 12:52. So it's morning in other parts of the country. Yeah, I remember this is walking uphill here all the way up to Boggs if you go that far, which I'm not going that far. The good thing is when you're walking on the way back it's downhill, so when you need it, it's downhill, so it's not going to be too strenuous. But I was on the trail for 2 days in a row, and I'm an old sucker, so my body can't take it like it used to. Well, that's really pretty up there. Now that would be really pretty if all the leaves were turned. I mean, some of the leaves are turned. Let's get a shot of that. See, it looks like a tunnel of trees up there. I love seeing that. Looks like a tunnel. And if that was all orange and brown, orange and yellow, that would be really nice. Now let's look back the other direction. That goes back towards Imperial. There's something really stinks right here. It must be a sewer line. Alright, let's switch to selfie right now. Selfie. Stand out of the way. There we go. See right there? It looks like a tunnel. Right there's a tunnel. Alright. Beautiful. Beautiful tunnel. There are a number of those on this trail. Different locations. The way the trees wrap around. It's beautiful. Totally different feeling when I come down in this area as opposed to where I was yesterday. This reminds me of when I used to live out here. Went to high school, West Allegheny High School. So every time I come down to the area, I think of that. That's crazy. We're having our 50th anniversary reunion next year, 2026. 50 years from 1976 when I graduated. 50 years. It's unbelievable. This is a nice little gully right here. See the sides built up, and then this side's a mountain. Beautiful. Also, see, with that new phone case, that light orange, it matches my wallpaper matches that. Haha. Okay. Let's do this. Alright, that's enough. I'm hearing a bunch of leaves rustling over there. Probably just some squirrel or something. Squirrel or chipmunk. But yeah, this right now is bringing back memories of that first year when I first did the trail in 23, and it was the fall. And it was so interesting to me, so much fun. It's still fun, but I'm just saying, when you first do it, and never having done it before, you just can't believe that this exists. Like I said yesterday, these rail trails are the best thing that ever happened. And I remember back, when I was working, back in the 90s, there'd be people talking, oh, they're going on rail trails. That's when they were converting all the railroad lines to trails. I wasn't interested, I just wasn't interested in any of that, walking on trails. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I was just interested in come home from work, cook your dinner, sit down and watch videos, watch music videos or, movies or whatever. I was like that for most of my life in the 90s and 2000s. Now that's when my dad started doing this trail. right when he was in about 65 or so years old, he got this idea. He bought himself a bike, and he just put it in the back of his pickup truck, drive down here, or say drive down towards what is that place? Summit Park. Now, North Star Junction. And even then, you know, he would come out around town talking about he was on the trail with his bike, and I'm like, wow, you like doing that? He's like, oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I asked him, like, was there tunnels? He said, oh yeah, there's bridges, there's tunnels. It's just so great. I think he talked about the furthest he ever came was he parked down there. What is that place again? Where the Robinson, when you go up to the Robinson Mall, down at the bottom of that hill, I guess it's called like Summit or something. I don't know. I don't really know the roads, but he parked down there and he rode his bike all the way down here, and he went all the way to McDonald, the viaduct. So that's pretty far. Because, you know, it starts out like back there, it starts out around like mile 6 or something, where he did, and then all the way down to that viaduct, probably like down by mile marker 16 or so. That's a pretty long ride. Hi. This trail's wide, but there's all these leaves, man. So I don't want to be walking in that. You never know what the hell you're going to step in. Now look over here. This is interesting. That's where that junction, that Y, went over to Santiago, but they closed that up in the 60s. Posted no trespassing. What's the story with that posted written on there? Posted where? Right there on that sign? What the heck you need that word posted for? Well, this is getting a little thick with the leaves. There's something running around up there. Oh, there's a squirrel right there. You know, my prediction on this shutdown, we're in the middle of a government shutdown, right? Started last week. They voted on it like 3 or 4 times, and they can't come to an agreement. My prediction is, even if they can if they can get it open now, it's going to come to the same point again in early November. I don't know the exact date, but it's before Thanksgiving. It's going to be the same exact thing. And they haven't come to an agreement. And what are they going to do? Another clean CR? The government's going to be shut down again. So hi. See, the thing of it is they did that CR in March. Schumer was threatening not to, go along, but then he eventually did. So the government did not shut down in March. But the Republicans' main focus then, until the summer, into the summer, was to get that big, beautiful bill passed, which they did. Eventually that became law in July, and a lot of stuff's going to take effect at the end of the year, next year. But I don't actually think that the Republicans want to do anything differently. And we fought like hell to get that and to get rid of all those programs. Now Schumer comes up and says, we're shutting down the government unless you give us, rescind all that and get back to the way it used to be. Why would Republicans want to even think about that? And also, even if they open the government up right now, who's to think it's going to be any different in about, 7 weeks from now? It's going to be the same crap. Here's mile marker 10. You think they're going to come up with some agreements between now and then? And even now they're not doing anything because the government's shut down. So nobody's going to be thinking about changing anything. It's all a farce. And you know what? I don't care if they keep it shut down. Maybe they ought to keep it shut down for the rest of the year. Keep it shut down. All that stuff goes into effect. A lot of it goes into effect next year. These various programs that are run out. And then say, well, excuse me, but it was signed into law in July, and now these cuts really take effect at the end of the year, and so you're going to keep the government shut down? Well, let's just keep it shut down forever. What I like is the idea of Trump wanting to take this opportunity right now and start cutting a lot of fat, get rid of more stuff. While he can have the power right now to do that. Cut these programs further, like Doge 2.0. Waste, fraud, and abuse. Yeah, Mike Johnson was trying to explain that the other day. Someone was asking him, what are you guys, if you said you were going to do this in March, they did the continuing resolution, what have you done since then? Well, firstly, like I said, all the effort was focused on getting that one big beautiful bill passed to get all those cuts in place. So there's going to be no negotiation about going backwards. But anyway, he was saying, oh yeah, well, we've done this or that, and we've had discussions, and he was talking about the individual steps that they were taking. leading up to this here shutdown. And so we're just not there yet. And all we're saying is here's a continuing resolution, a clean CR, keep it open, and we'll continue in good faith and negotiate until the November time. But I honestly don't see that happening, because I don't think any Republicans really want to go backwards. Hi. So, I think it all boils down to the fact that these things went into place in July. They're going to take effect, some of them at the end of the year. Others may have already taken effect. But it's like there's nothing more the Democrats can do. This is one little thing they can do. Put a stop to everything. Just throw a monkey wrench into it because of the 60 vote necessity. Also, that Schumer is running scared. Got these little twerps like at AOC. All the young ones are going to come after his position. I mean, I guess she has to run for Senate first, but anyway, he's only doing this for save his own hide, to show that he has some backbone, but he doesn't really have a backbone. Alright, we're getting, where are we at? 1.63. Let's go just a little bit further. Alright, I think this is a good turning around point. Alright, 1.66. We're going to turn around right here. It's a nice long stretch. Let's take a small break. Take a water break. There's a lot of bikes on this trail today. Hi. Hi. Alright, I said I was going to turn around, but I was waiting for these people to get out of the way. Alright, let's do a few pictures here, alternate videos. And, oh damn, here comes another bike. I was trying to get that before any bikes came in. Oh, what the hell? Just take a picture. Take a picture anyway. Let's go down this way and take a picture. Hold on a minute. All right, now let's go back here. Hopefully, there's no bikes. All right, there's that nice straightaway. I've said this before, but that reminds me of that place down at past Galati Road when you're heading back towards McDonald. Now let's switch to selfie. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm getting tired. 1.67. So 1.65 would be 3.3 total when I get back. It's a pretty decent walk. So Friday I had about 3.0 total. I was down at PRT station and went up to Is that where I was? Yeah. I went to Churchill Underpass. And yesterday I was down at Cecil Park and went up to the Muse Bishop Bridge. So yesterday was a longer walk, more than Friday. Today it's going to be close to what it was yesterday, but not quite. Very close. But this is good now because it's going downhill, so not too much stress on my legs. See, the more of this that you do, the better off you are. I'm going to try to do it again tomorrow on a different trailhead. I remember that in 23. When I first did this, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta try to get to all these different trailheads. Oh, wow, this is so exciting. So great. I was sitting there every night looking at the map, figuring out where am I going to drive to tomorrow, and places I didn't even know existed. I had to try to figure out how to get to them. That was a lot of fun. It's still a lot of fun. I'm just saying, it was when it's new, it's even better. Another thing that makes this easier than in the summer was there's not high humidity here. Once we got into that late June, it all went to hell. With the heat wave. It just seems like it went so fast. I remember that time in June, right near the beginning of June, I had that rental car, and I went up to Quicksilver. So I thought, well, I'll go up there with a rental rather than have my own car going up there. Then I realized, oh, now they paved it, so it looks better. It's better on your car, except right at the trailhead's a little dirty and dusty, but a little rough. But the entrance road is nice, paved. So anyway, I had the rental car, and I was wearing shorts and a short sleeve shirt. It was like probably about 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was rainy and cloudy and windy and rainy, and I was like freezing. Then all of a sudden, in a couple more weeks, it gets into this outrageous heat wave that lasts for weeks and weeks. Probably like 6 weeks or something. It makes it too hard to walk. For me, at least. So then I went back to a lot of indoor walking. I'm hearing something over there. Then you get to this point where you're saying, well, I'll just do the indoor walking. I don't really want to go out and it's too hot and I'll get all sweaty. And so once you get into that, then you feel like you're no better off than you are in the winter time when you're going to the indoor mall walking. When you have to, and that's the only thing you can do. So I would summarize it by saying that I did not take advantage of everything this summer. A nice shot right there. And here we are, it's October already. But there's always next year. hopefully. I mean, it's not that, think about it. That, June I'm talking about, that was 4 months ago, right? 6 and 4 is 10. See, I can do math. So when I quit doing the walking since November, 4 months later, I'll be doing it again in March. So it's really not that big of a deal. It's just knowing that you can't do it because the winter makes you want it more and more. I remember last winter, man, I was just like going crazy. Here comes some bike or something. Hi. Hi. Got those mountain bikes. Jeez. Last winter, I was going nuts, man. I was like, oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to get back. See, the reason for that is that last week in October, I had that medical problem and I couldn't do my walks, and it was beautiful weather. And I went again one more time in November 5th on election day. But I was just recovering from that. And I was dead tired. I could hardly walk at all. So that made it be like the end of the season was a dud, I couldn't do anything. So I was like, wow, man, I gotta get back. Because by the time, like 2 or 3 weeks later, I was feeling perfect again. It's like, well, no, it's too late. So I had to wait. So it was like all I was doing was mall walking for months and months and months. Finally, in March, I was able to get back on the trail. That's when you miss it. That's when it's great. Man, I am rambling like a freaking idiot. I don't know if anybody ever watches these videos. I know I always watch them. Something's crawling right there. There's that clearing with the pipeline that goes up that way. Anyway, these last two videos, Friday night and Saturday night, I put them up. But I did not watch them myself. Usually I watch them right away because I like to see my own video. But I thought, I'm just going to not watch them and see what happens if there's ever any views on it. So far, both of those have no views. Usually I end up with like 5 or 6 views, which is nothing, Not that I even give a rat's ass about that. I'm just saying, I wonder if anybody ever does watch them. Or somebody might click on it for a split second and say, get out of this. And that counts as a view. Seriously, I doubt if anybody ever watched one all the way to the end. Yeah, maybe you could speed up the view rate on YouTube. Speed it up to like double speed. Just get to the good parts. What good parts? Well, these are preserved for history, so 100 years from now somebody might watch these and say, man, that guy was an idiot talking to himself. Here's that part that twisted over to Santiago. Closed in 1960. This is great right here because it's all downhill. There's that sign. $19.60, okay. North Star Junction. Okay. Water time.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah,
That dude was dragging his feet. I hate when somebody walks like that. Trying to scare all the snakes. Now right here, you wouldn't know it just from looking at all this wacky weeds, but we're right over top of Santiago Road. You can sort of see it down there. When these leaves go away, you'll really be able to see it. We're on top of a bridge, and we're on a bridge, I mean. Yeah, we're on top of it. We're in the bridge. This is that old-time fence that I love so well. It's seen better days, but it's still okay. And this side over here, they have replaced a little bit of it, but anyway, that's that. That guy was like this, walking like that. Jesus. What's he doing that for? Waking people up. I gotta fix these pants, man. My shirt keeps coming out. My pants are... I'm losing weight, okay? Not that much, but I'm losing some weight, a little bit. So my pants keep falling down. I got all this crap on, things in the cargo pockets. It's kind of like weighing it down. See if I can fix this without being a total idiot. You gotta, to do it right, you gotta kind of take your pants down and put your shirt tail in, but let's do it discreetly right here. Just loosen it slightly. Tuck your shirt in. And then tighten it back up. There we go. We did it discreetly. I don't know how I can explain it to you, but the experience of doing this trail, walking on this trail, it's so great that this even exists. But it wouldn't exist if we didn't have rail lines in the past. So, all the rail trails in the whole country, I'm sure everybody's saying the same thing. It's like, wow. You'd never get to see this stuff otherwise. Because normally, what are you going to do walking through? You can walk through the woods, but I mean, you're going to find little trails and stuff, but you're never going to find anything perfect like this. It's perfectly smooth, pretty much level, but it's beautiful. You see all the nature. Here comes a bike. Comes another one. Sounds like a motor. There's some motorbikes coming down, and they got that electric engine and mountain bike tires. Holy shit! Look at those tires. Damn, those tires on those bikes. We're talking mountain bikes right there. But they make a lot of noise too. Yeah, that spot really looks good. Going slightly uphill that way. I'm not going to say never, but I mean, I might. I mean, never say you're going to do. I might do, or try to do some walking during these colder months. Problem is you got to put a jacket and all that on, and a hat, and you're going to sweat to beat hell underneath that. Meanwhile, it's going to be like winter. It's not going to be fun. Once you get back to the car, you're soaked. Take that jacket off and the hat off and you're soaked. Hi. Well, I did that the first year. I didn't do a lot of that last year. I don't think I even... Huh? Right at the beginning of 2024 season, I think I did wear like the sweater a few times.
It's so funny you said that because I was like, you were thinking about the feathers on his bike. It's gonna okay.
Yuck. See, now that I'm thinking about it, I just started thinking about that right now as I'm thinking about wearing that sweater at the beginning of 2024 season, like, March, April time frame. I'm pretty sure that I did that long ass walk from Valley Brook Road, like Maplewood, which is like in the middle of between Route 19 up towards McMurray Road. That's like in the middle of that, in between those. So parked there and went all the way to the Greer Tunnel and back, and I'm pretty sure that was in the spring of 2024. I mean, I could just look it up right now because I have the video on here, but I don't really want to look it up. Yeah, that was that one where I overdid it. And I didn't really realize too much, but later I was looking at on your right. Later, when I got home, and even maybe a couple days later, I never look at this stuff, but on my iPhone, I was looking at this fitness stuff. There's another bike. Damn. Anyway, there's this like fitness app, and you go in and you can look at the history of what you've done on your Apple Watch, and all the data is recorded and all that. And I saw something very interesting. My heart rate was going up and up and up on the second half of that trip. So like went from that parking lot all the way up to the Greer Tunnel, close to like 2.5, 3 miles, whatever. I was doing okay, but then on the way back, and I did start to feel a little funny, like I was just feeling a little weird. When I looked later, my heart rate was going up and up and up that whole return trip. And I wasn't looking down. Like, you can look down right now and look at your heart rate, but I wasn't doing that. I just didn't think about looking at it. So I really overdid it on that trip. Luckily, I didn't have any problems, but you could screw yourself up out in the middle of nowhere. So I always think of that. See, I don't think I want to do that again, like park at Maplewood and go all the way to the Greer Tunnel. That's too far. So if I could get that parking spot right there on Route 19 under the bridge there, The other alternative is go to Tandem Bike Shop, and then you can walk to the tunnel, Greer Tunnel, real quick. But I don't like parking there. It's real dusty and dirty and rugged trailhead. And then there were those thefts last October. People's cars were broken into. And I just don't think I want to chance it. Now, I'm not one of those idiots who keeps his car unlocked like a freaking fool. The way I understand it, those cars were not really actually broken into. They were just, the doors were unlocked. People were stupid. So maybe that would be okay, because I never keep my car unlocked. Then again, though, I don't like that trailhead. I mean, it's okay. It's big. It's, you know, sort of well populated, but well traveled. But I don't like that rugged entry and exit from that. But if you did that, you go down to the Greer Tunnel pretty easily. So this year, I went to the Greer Tunnel. So the first time was in May, coming from Route 19, and the second time was from the Tandem Bike Shop when I had the rental car, so I didn't care about parking there. So I think I only did it twice this year. And I only did the National Tunnel once this year, back in March. That's where you could park. They call that Kernick. I think just because of the people that owned that area, but it's Cecil Henderson Road is what another way to call it. And that's only like a half a mile or so from the National Tunnel. But that's a real rugged trailhead. The parking and that. Now let's cross over here. That's got like sort of massive potholes, and it's all dirt and dusty trailhead. There's no I'm gonna have to walk on this side now. These bikes are coming. Hi.
Hi, John.
Good, how are you? Man, those mountain bikes. See, look, they're not even pedaling. They're not pedaling at all. Now, that's cheating. They're pedaling. I see that lady pedaling just a little tiny bit. Well, that would be so easy to ride that. When I got that bike 2 years ago, I was like all excited, but and it's not electric, right? It's just pedal power. But then I realized right away, I said, oh, geez, this is rough, man. I'm not in shape. You gotta keep your legs constantly moving. I mean, you're walking, you're constantly moving, but I mean, you gotta keep giving that power. Now on the downslide, like here, this would be okay going downhill, but it's too rough for my age. Here comes another bike, so I'm going to get over here. Hi. You never see anybody coming out on these roads with cars. I mean, there's houses up there. It says no outlet. There's houses here. There's houses down that way. And that goes down to, it hooks up to Santiago Road. I've seen some cars go down there every once in a while, but not too much. That's another thing. This year I did not go to the trailhead that's on Fort Cherry. That one Fort Cherry Road that comes down off of, you come off of that I-576. You get off at the McDonald exit. And it goes from that exit ramp over to Route 980. And down in a little gully there, they have a trailhead. Hi. And I did that. I'm not sure if I did it in 2023, but I definitely did it like at least 2 or 3 times in 2024. But this year, 25, I didn't do it at all. I kind of don't like that one. It's a little rugged to go into the trailhead. It's not that bad, but I mean, when you turn into it from that road, it's a little tricky turning into it. Again, it's one of those dusty, dirty ones. It's not paved. You know, I wish they would pave all of them. Make all the trailheads paved parking. But that one's real close to the McDonald Viaduct. I remember that one time last year I went in the other direction towards Quicksilver from there. And I was doing really great, and all of a sudden I come upon these houses and there's these dogs barking and they're running down towards the fence. I'm like, holy shit. I'm turning around right now. This dog's come out on the trail. You're screwed. There's no way you can defend yourself against dogs that are going to attack you. And I didn't have, that was before I had this bear spray stuff. And even this little bear spray crap, it's not going to deter those dogs, I don't think. If they're going to attack you. Especially if there's more than one. I can smell burning leaves. Boy, that was a smell you'd smell all the time where I lived in McDonald. The whole area used to smell like that in the wintertime. Now it's more flat and it's not as easy to walk. That downhill was great. I'm getting close to being back, but I mean, another place I could go if I don't go to that Route 19 one, or Valley Brook. I could go all the way back down to Trip Hammer. That's paved parking. It's pretty nice down there. That section from Trip Hammer east down to Piney Fork East, that 0.8 mile section, that's beautiful. That reminds me of like Ligonier or something, with the rapids. It's not that big of a rapids, but well, right now it probably wouldn't be like that because it's really dry. We've had a drought. That's a beautiful section. There's that Piney Fork Bridge, that footbridge they put there. last year I did that where I went from the PRT station and library, walked all the way down to that area and back. That was one of my longest walks ever. And it was in October, but it was like really hot. I was dragging by the time I got back. It was just so grueling. I was like, oh man, I can't wait till this is over. Because that area right there between the library station and down near Stewart, that's all wide open. There's no shade. But I do remember that day, there were like almost no clouds in the sky. Well, here comes that girder, those girders. What I like about these is they're beautiful, they're tall, and there's no graffiti. I got one the other day, Brownsville Road, that's totally filled with graffiti. This is perfect. Now see, you've got your, oops. Hi. You got your obligatory old-timey fence right there. Got two little sections of that right here. Then you've got your girders, which are pristine. I mean, you can tell they've been painted, but now it looks like somebody did write stuff on these. See, like you can sort of see right there, and they paint over them right away. The Montour Trail Council people paint over them, so they cover up that stupid graffiti. But it looks great. Here's a place where the paint's peeling off. You can see the rust color underneath. I love these. I wish I had these in my backyard. Right? Seriously, I do love these. Look how tall these are. Man, it's unbelievable. Here comes more of that fence. There's Route 30 right underneath. Over here you can see it better. Route 30, Imperial, Pennsylvania. Yeah. I don't know if you can see any dates on this down here. Probably not. It's got to be like around 1926 or so. When you head up in this direction straight ahead, about 2 or 3 miles up, you've got those various overpasses, the bridges that have like 1924, 1926, that kind of stuff. So those are huge girders right there, man. Those are the best. Those are the best girders I've ever seen. I love how tall they are. We are almost back. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't buy, think about getting another Blazer or say like that Equinox. I'd be disappointed. comes somebody. And some runners are coming. Let's stop here real quick. Let them go by. Hi.
Thank you.
Sure. And that Equinox looks pretty nice. And they're bigger than they were, and they look kind of cool. They look like kind of like a truck shape front. And sometimes when you see one of those Nissan Rogues, they look very similar to that new Equinox shape. But I think I'd be disappointed because it's only like 175 horsepower if you get the all-wheel drive. If you didn't get the all-wheel drive, which I never would, but if you did, you would have that CVT thing, which is a piece of shite. CVT. Now my car right now, it's like, well, it's great, but I mean, it's 4-cylinder turbo. So I wish it was a V6, but they don't make it anymore, so. I mean, it seems pretty powerful. I haven't really pushed it too much. I'm afraid of messing it up. Like, I don't want to, with these turbos, I'm like, oh, gee, maybe you shouldn't really try to push it, see how powerful it is. Because you could, like, mess up your engine too soon. Hi. Alright, there's my vehicle right there. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go straight down here to the that caboose. There's the vehicle right there. Cool. What's nice about it is it doesn't have any kind of markings or lettering on the sides like that Blazer had. The Chevy products have their logo written down there, like a Blazer had Blazer written on the side. Yes, let's go down here and look at this for a minute. There's the caboose. That's really pretty. Well, they got that set up, the ground work they did around it. Let's see this section here. Rain gardens. Clean water and provide habitat. There you go. Yeah, it's cute. Now let's clean these shoes off a little bit. Hopefully you don't step in any crap or anything. Okay. Let me get some water here real quick. It's really nice seeing that. Look how these grounds are here. It's beautiful. Cool rock right here. Oh, somebody broke something here. Clean these shoes off a little bit. we're back, and we got 3.4 miles. There's the vehicle. A little bit dirty, but not too bad. Love it. It has a similar shape to the Blazer, but I like it better, I think. All right, we're gonna say goodbye. Bye-bye. I'm gonna turn this thing off. Let's start it up first. Okay, shut her down, dude. Shut her down. Signing off. Goodbye.